Alright, so you guys asked for it during the last live broadcast. Heritage Manufacturing Roscoe revolver. Okay, let's open her up. We have an instruction manual. We have the pistol itself and a lock, and that's about it. So, get this out of the way. I believe that's a loaded chamber indicator. And there's our little .38 caliber handgun. Now, we'll look at the manual. Yeah, warning. Lead can kill you. And the manual kind of goes through firearm safety, know your weapon, safety systems, carrying a firearm, locking, gives you nomenclature and specs of the gun. You know, let's take a look here. 38 special, double action, single action, capacity 5, barrel length 3 inches, overall width, weight 21.8 ounces, fixed sights, frame alloy steel. So it's a steel gun. Shows you how to lock the thing with a padlock. And how to load. So if you're not familiar with a revolver, they show you how to load it. Alright. So, retro revolvers. That's what we're getting here. Alright, so retro revolver, what we have is just a basic small frame .38 fixed sights, much like the ever popular Smith & Wesson Model 10. You used to get them with fixed sights like this, and it was kind of standard issue to the police departments. And this is a smaller frame gun. I'll compare it to my Smith & Wesson 15 or 14 and 5-shot. I do have a Smith snub nose, which is on a smaller frame like this. The reason I got the 3-inch barrel a little bit longer is I have a 4-inch or whatever this is, 3 and some odd inches, and I have a 2-inch. So this one kind of fits right in between 5 shots. The grips are nice, and I've seen some people already had to put the little grip extension on there. Single action, double action. This does have a transfer bar to the firing pin. The firing pin's not attached to the hammer. Double action trigger pull, not too terrible. Single action. Trigger's a little gritty. Of course, the two that I have had the actions worked on. So, but not terrible for what it is. Now this thing came in at $309. Okay, that's with everything, transfer fees and everything else. Which, finding an all steel revolver, and we had the Rock Island revolver, the .38, which was down there in the budget area, but it was not as nice as this. This is blued, wooden handles. I mean, it looks well made, well finished. A lot of people don't like bluing because you have to take care of the gun and, you know, wipe it down, keep it protected, make sure you don't get no moisture or nothing on it. But, you know, for the price, and this gun was made Taurus, Brazil, where a lot of the other Taurus revolvers, and I've had several of them, they're usually alloy frames, I forget the model number, but Taurus revolvers are a bit larger and a bit more heavier, unless you get the airweight frames and that, or alloy frames. But they're a bit bulkier gun, and they usually have some sort of finish that's not blue. Now, Taurus does make stainless steel revolvers, which are pretty, they started getting some really nice guns made, but they retail about $600, $700. I mean, they were nice, but now they're up there. Of course, Smith & Wesson or a Colt, the new one, is going to cost you $1,000. So it's still somewhat of a reasonable price for a firearm of that quality. And this one here looks pretty damn good for what it is. So I'm going to go and kind of wipe this down, wipe the oil off of it, and I'm going to do my first modification by coloring the front sight. Because I know right now with these fixed sights with a notch, the minute the sunlight hits it in a way, I'll lose the sight. I won't be able to see it. So I'm going to do that, and then we'll cut back in. I'll show you how I changed or painted the front sight. And get it cleaned up and get ready to take it to the range. After field stripping the gun, those of you that know how to take a revolver apart, very interesting. I found here the date, 2024 06-17, the date they completed the gun, T2 LEX-1 329, and the caliber 38 or something. When you wash off the packing grease or the Cosmoline, and if you use a acetone or carburetor cleaner, then just totally wipe the gun down with some sort of oil. I use this here, and brings the blue back, takes the dull finish off. And another thing, when you take the cylinder out, you take that screw, which is here, which goes into the notch there, and holds the cylinder in. On this end, unlike a Smith & Wesson, there is this thing in a spring-loaded plunger that goes into there. Be aware of that. This is not like a Smith. This is some extra part that, and I haven't seen that on a Taurus either. So when I took it out, that fell out. I didn't know what it was. So there you go. Just a warning. If you do field strip it or tear it down to this point, you know, I wouldn't go no further than this. All right, let me get the gun back together and we'll do my conclusion with this video. All right, there's our overview. You know, there are other videos out there that get more specific with it. But this is just a basic revolver, and I did my first little mod, put that white paint on the front sight, which I can pick it up. And all it is nail polish with a clear coat over it. And after cleaning it up, putting a little oil into action, everything seems to be working fairly good. And now we just have to take it out and shoot it. This gun, when they marketed it, they did a video, the retro 1930s, 1940s detectives. And, you know, I believe this is like, you know, they say Taurus, Brazil. This is like an old Rossi back in the 70s. but the quality's better. Those guns, they were also the budget revolvers of the era. But these grips are super nice. The finish looks good, a nice bluing. Classic line, just a basic little 38. Somewhat of a copy of a Smith & Wesson-ish gun. And for the price, you can't beat it. We'll take it out and shoot it, see what it does. But I mean, it's a really neat gun. You guys, when we discussed it, you know, what should I get and unbox and try, and everybody voted, and we took a vote. Everyone voted for this gun here. This is a cool, neat gun. Kind of takes you back in time, you know, and we'll give it a try. So there you go, gentlemen. You asked for it, you know, we got it. Hit the like button, subscribe, and you know, if you can send some support to keep going with all these projects, please do. Either get a membership, Patreon, or even super fans can make a quick donation. All right, guys, thanks, and stay tuned.